Hey guys, how are ya? Steph here. So in this late night vlog, I'm going to go over the business battle plan. Now the business battle plan is a new course. It's also kind of a mentoring forum where I'm going to teach you everything I wish I knew when I started my first business when I was 18. So that's like 800,000 years ago. That's an old joke. I won't use it again. So the course segments what I'm teaching into three basic components, or the three pillars. The first one is the core business skills, pretty self-explanatory. The next one is money management and financial skills. Now this is huge. I've seen business courses out there and books, and they dance around the money management skills, if you will. It's such an important part of the business. The reason I've been able to do pretty good over the years is because I've managed my money well. So even on the down times, I was doing fine. Anyway, we're going to talk about that. We're going to integrate that into the context of this course. Finally, you have the psychological skills. I discovered a long time ago in my 20s that entrepreneurs had a different mindset than people who weren't entrepreneurs. You have a different worldview, and this progresses over time as you become more and more experienced as a business owner or an entrepreneur. You start to develop that mindset, and the more you develop that, the more quickly you get into that mindset, into that state, that psychological state. Excuse me. The quicker you're going to be able to identify opportunities, and the quicker you're going to be able to identify problems. And so one of the things I'm going to be teaching in this course is some of these psychological skills, if you will. So there you go. You got the core business skills, money management skills, financial skills, and the psychological skills. Now, if you're wondering about the money management skills and financial skills, to me, it's pretty simple stuff. But let me tell you something. Let me give you a couple of statistics to sort of illustrate what I'm talking about here. NBA players make a ton of money. 85% of them go bankrupt within 3 years of leaving the NBA. 85% go bankrupt within 3 years. That's just incredible. Same thing with professional football players. 85% of them go bankrupt within the first few years after retirement. And these are people who've made huge money, and this has to do with just terrible money management skills. So you need to develop that. So even if you were making a ton of money in your business, if you don't know how to manage money, you're going to be in deep trouble. So that's why I included in here. That being said, the bulk of the course really is in the first pillar, the first area, the core business skills. So the way I'm going to structure each of the lessons is first I'm going to have a summary right at the top of a lesson. I say, here's the point of this lesson. Then I'm going to get into the detail of the lesson. A lot of times it's a story, because everything I'm teaching you here is based on my experience. And number three, when appropriate, I will give you an action plan, steps that allow you to basically put to work in the real world the lesson, the point of the lesson. So let me just go over a bunch of the chapters very quickly, just a quick overview so you understand. So number one, chapter one. And to be honest with you, even though there's chapters, the order in which you watch the lessons or listen to the lessons are going to come in video and audio format, by the way, plus all kinds of notes in the premium form. See, I'm releasing this in a premium form. So you pay one fee, then there's a monthly fee after that. It's like buying me a beer once a month, if it's worth it for you in terms of your career as an entrepreneur. And so in the forum, I'll be posting the videos, links to the videos, and links to the audio, and I will be detailing what's in the videos as well, written format. I might put up PDFs if people want it, and you can put questions to me and so on. It's kind of like a mentoring type of situation, not just a typical course. Anyhow, so let's go over the chapters, which you can watch in any order. Watch and listen in any order. So number one, chapter one, the categories of business. You're going to find there's 4 business categories. I'll give you a couple of them. Selling your time, selling other people's time, selling products, and selling IP. That's intellectual property. So we're going to get into each of these categories. I'm going to cover the pros and the cons of each. And I've done all these things, by the way. and I'll tell you what I've learned over the years about these different business categories. And depending on your personality type, you may want one or the other. And anyway, in the course, I'll get into that. Chapter 2, the 10 business ideas. I figured I would present 10 different business ideas in different sectors, different fields, and I will go over the pros and cons of each, the money requirements for each, the skills needed and to get into that particular category of business and how hard it is to acquire these skills, the potential scale of the business, what that means, and how to get started. Again, the idea is to give you some ideas, not necessarily you're going to use any of these 10 ideas, but it will give you an idea of what it's like out there, what the different business types are, and what you can do with it. Next one, chapter 3, how to pick your business. There's a few things you got to consider. First and foremost, believe it or not, you got to decide what kind of life you want to live, because different business types require a different type of commitment in terms of your daily life. So we're going to look at that as well. You also have to consider your talents. And you have to consider how much money you got. Some businesses could be started up very cheap. Some require a lot of money, so it depends on your situation. I'm assuming for this course that you got no money and you have no contacts. And that's how I started my business. So we're going to go from there. Next one, finding your niche. That's chapter 4. Chapter 5, how most rich people get rich. That's a very interesting thing. I looked that up a long time ago. What is the key to becoming rich and financially well off? We're going to look at what most people do, not the unicorns like Bill Gates and the Zuckerbergs, who, they're the unicorns. They're super rare. It's not a good idea to emulate the super rare, super successful. What you want to do is you want to look at what most people do to get rich and learn from them. Anyway, we'll get into that. Chapter 6, bootstrap business versus raising money, pros and cons. We'll talk about the differences. Chapter 7, maybe the most important chapter, Steph's top 3 business truths. Yes, something I observed over the last 28 years of being in business myself, not just my own, but many of my friends and family. So we'll talk about that. Chapter 8, partners or no partners, pros and cons, tax implications, legal implications, psychological implications of having partners or no partners. Next one, working at home versus working at the office, hiring people to work for you, chapter 10. Chapter 11, buying equipment for your business. A few things you got to consider. Chapter 12, developing business workflows, increasing profits, reducing headaches. Business workflows. I talked about this in my vlogs. We're going to go into greater depth. Next chapter, 13, long-term money management. I talked about one thing, FU stash. You can look that up in YouTube. Next one, how to build clients, how to get paid. 5 sections to that. And then chapter 15 is the psychology of entrepreneurs. We'll look at the business. We'll look at that issue. Chapter 16, business myths, popular business myths that we're going to dispel. And finally, chapter 17, principles of FIM. That's kind of the secret bonus chapter we won't get into. So there you go. This is just an outline of what it's going to be. I'm going to be delivering this in the Killer Sites forum under a premium forum because I'm going to be releasing, I'm not sure, very soon, hopefully by the end of this week, maybe Saturday, Sunday, the first few chapters. It's going to be audio and video format, and I'm just going to build it up from there. And based on people's interaction, what they share with me, I will be answering questions in there. I will be adding new videos. So it's not just a static course. It's not just a course that just sits there and that's it. It's going to be an alive course. So I'm going to be responding to people. And that's it. The business battle plan. All right. Ciao, ciao.